Hello, I'm Sarah Joy, and this is Sarah's Joyful Journey on our Wednesday Wellness Edition. So I hope you enjoyed last week's episode when we talked about how participating in the arts and doing crafting will help us with our longevity as far as depression and anxiety goes. I have done pretty well this past week with trying to get 20 minutes a day in. It didn't happen every day, but it happened more days than it didn't, so I'm heading in the right direction. I do have a sock that I need to work on finishing, and I just have to fix the heel. I did a little bit of knitting on one of the days that I was at Keto Orlando, and I spun at one of the days at Keto Orlando for like 10 minutes. So it's improvement. And then yesterday I did a little bit of spinning as well. And I'm going to attempt to do some spinning tonight and attempt to fix the heel. So hopefully I can get some craft time in, but I've got some other things that I need to do that are also of a priority. So I've made improvements there. Sorry, I'm trying to keep the glare from the windows off my glasses. So you'll see me trying to move my head to accommodate that because it's annoying to me. All right, so this week is going to be the first week of a series on gratitude. Why I chose gratitude for the next several weeks is because it was inspired by my time that I got to spend at Keto Orlando. They talked about participating in vitamin G, or is in gratitude, as a way to improve our health and all sorts of things. So I did a little bit of research, and I have an area that I want to focus on with some things that we can do to help implement and practice gratitude and start enjoying more things and being grateful for more things. Not that we're not grateful, but I don't think that, I know, at least for me, because that's who all I can speak for, is we're not always intentional with our gratitude. So I'm working on that. All right, so gratitude, the benefits of gratitude are it can improve our mood. It helps with burnout, so it can reduce the effects of burnout. And if you've ever been through burnout, it's not fun at all. It can help us manage our pain, can reduce risks of disease. It can lessen anxiety and depression, helps to improve our sleep, both in quality and in quantity, and helps improve our relationships. So if we're happier in our relationships, we're going to communicate better and all those kind of things. One thing that I implemented this morning when I started thinking about adding in more gratitude and focusing on gratitude was I found an app. It's a free app. It's really cool. I'd show it to you, except I'm using my phone to record. It's called Gratitude Jar. So what this jar does is every time you're feeling grateful for something, you can open the app and it'll give you the prompt, I am grateful for, and text box, and you put in whatever you're grateful for. I've already put in 2 things for today. And I'm trying to be aware of things that I'm grateful for and just making a note. Well, then as you're filling up your little stars, they go in this jar. And then you can do this thing where you shake your jar and you can pull out something that you were grateful for in the past. So it allows you to be able to reflect and appreciate on things that you already know you're grateful for. And so it's a great reminder. So I'm really happy with that little free app so far. Today is day 1. I will update as we continue on through this series of things about gratitude and ways to increase our gratitude and be more intentional with gratitude. So one of the ways that I want to talk about gratitude is a thing called savoring. So we've all heard the phrase, I'm assuming, savor the moment. So that's basically what we're going to do. So I have a little bit of things on how we're going to savor and some techniques and exercises that we can walk through to participate in savoring in the moments, just to get us in the habit of applying it. I still have to go through and I still have to think exactly which moments I'm going to choose throughout my day to savor, but I'll be able to do that later today as I'm winding down for the evening. I think that's going to be a perfect time for me to think about what I was grateful for the day and for what other things that I can do for this activity. So I will be doing it as well. So I'm going to look down at my notes. Savoring is noticing the small things, such as the everyday positive moments that we all experience. It's learning to focus on those small things, because that when we focus on them, we can and be grateful for them, we can have significant impacts on our happiness, our resilience, our well-being, and our overall life satisfaction. And one thing that I noticed that Dr. Benazati also said with gratitude and practicing gratitude is he says it helps with blood pressure and heart rate variability as well. I don't have any science on that because I haven't read his book yet called Keto Flex. Hopefully I'll be starting that this week because I'm really interested in it. So I want to make sure that I'm sharing things that I've heard, but also things that I'm now going and I am researching. All right, so that's about that. So savoring is the capacity to notice, appreciate, and enhance the positive and prolong positive experiences by being deliberate in our awareness and our attention to those positive emotions. So to increase our ability to savor the moment, we should be creating rituals that focus on savoring by starting to make a conscious effort to notice and enjoy those positive experiences. So there's some steps that we can do to do this and to learn to apply this into our lives. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to identify everyday activities that bring us pleasure. So they gave some examples, and I'm going to list some examples. One is that first cup of coffee you have in the morning, taking a hot bath, walking your dog, or walking out in your favorite place. Some just activity that you do every single day. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make a list of those positive activities, those things that bring you pleasure and you really enjoy doing. I know for me, one of the things that I really enjoy is I do enjoy coming home and going for a walk, whether that be on my treadmill over here or when I can actually get outside. I do enjoy walking outside even more than walking on my treadmill. My treadmill can be a little bit boring, but I put some good tunes on, I relax, I focus, I just enjoy the process of walking. So that will likely be on my list. Possibly enjoying my tea or my first cup of coffee, which I don't have coffee every day, but I usually have tea. And I'm doing carnivore this week as part of a challenge with a friend. And so I don't know where that's going to play in this week. I can still do the tea. I just have to do it without my keto brains, which I enjoy having. So, or I can just focus on it on another week and not this week. But anyway, go ahead and make that list of those positive activities. That's where we're going to start. And then the second thing is we have to experience pleasure as it happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick 2 activities from our list that bring us that pleasure. And we're going to focus on those throughout the week. We're going to make sure that when we're participating in those activities, so if it's that first cup of coffee, you're going to think about what brings you the enjoyment. What are you enjoying? Using all of your senses, savoring the moment. Like, what are you smelling? What are you thinking? You're just going to focus on just that activity by quieting your mind, eliminating distractions, and thinking about all those positive thoughts that action brings about. So you don't want to rush through this activity. You want to take your time to enjoy it because it is something that brings you pleasure and you should be enjoying those. So you're going to look for positive sounds, sights, smells, and other sensations. So once you do that all week, you can record them if you wish. Just kind of be aware of what you're doing. Be aware of the things that you're feeling and thinking and all those positive things. I recommend journaling if you can, or using that positive gratitude app that I just said, the gratitude jar. So once you have done that, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to reflect on those activities for a week, at the end of the week. So you're going to do this reflection activity for 2 weeks is what the information I found suggests. And it's a great way to start really thinking about these things and being able to apply them to your life. So once you have done that, you're going to list 3 positive emotions and record them down. So did you notice more positive emotions during your week? So you're going to spend time thinking and reflecting on these things. Did you appreciate the smell of the moment, the small moments of pleasure? Did you feel more aware of that experience? Was there more pleasurable experiences through your week? While you were completing these activities, what did you enjoy most? So you're going to spend some time thinking about that. Did you find anything challenging? Was it challenging to come up with 2 activities that you thought were pleasurable? Were you able to even get one? I mean, that could be something that could be very challenging as well. Like right now, I can think of one of going for my walk. It's going to take me some time to think about a second one that as I'm doing it, I can be intentional and savoring that time in that moment and thinking about all the positive things that happen. It could be my knitting or spinning, depending on how much I can accomplish during the week. That's a possibility. Those are definitely getting added to my list of my experiences that bring me pleasure. And I'll definitely have to think long and hard about which 2 activities I want to do. All right. And if it was challenging, what was challenging about it? Did you have trouble quieting your mind and focusing on savoring the sensations that you felt during this time? So are you looking forward to savoring these activities in the following weeks and stuff like that? So these are all questions to ask yourself. Did you share these experiences with others? How was that experience if you did share it? What was those people's receptions to it? And how did they react? So those are just some things to get us thinking about savoring that moment, living in that moment, and practicing that gratitude. So next week, I'll come up with another set of things to talk about in relation to gratitude and how we can go about increasing our gratitude. So I definitely challenge you this week to go ahead and think about those activities. In the notes, I will put all the questions and that we should be asking ourselves so that you guys have a record of that and the activity itself, so that you don't have to just look at or hear what I'm saying. You'll be able to actually see it in the notes to be able to walk through it, because I have it written down, and I know that that's going to be beneficial to me, is writing everything down. And so I know I want you guys to be able to see that as well. I will go ahead and I will, if I can figure out how to grab a link, I will grab a link to the gratitude jar. But if not, I'm going to record that in the notes as well, so you guys can do that. So I definitely challenge you this week to start thinking about how we can savor the moment and live in the moment and start practicing gratitude. I did want to keep this short, just so that we can spend more time reflecting on things. All right, so I am going to call this the end of this episode of our Wellness Wednesday. Stay tuned next week for more information on how to increase gratitude in our lives. I will talk to you guys later. Bye for now.